got the best of me when you are around. Things keep getting better.
I'm Cleona Farrelly from Trinity College Dublin, and I work on the immune system of the human, and particularly interested in how the immune system responds to cancer.
Hi there! Nice to meet you. No, I'm Renee.
Oh, nice to meet you. You're going to help with all of this modelling business.
Should be great.
Good.
I think we'll really help with scaling things back. I think clinicians and biologists, they tend to look at the big picture and try to include the kitchen sink, and I think we'll really try to scale things down and get to the meat of it of what's important.
Well, that would be really useful because in the immune system we have so many cells, we have so many molecules, they work differently under different circumstances, and just exactly as you say, we want to think of them all at the same time.
Exactly.
Whereas hopefully you'll help us
cut it down. Yes.
Yes, I am Christina Richards. I'm an associate professor at the University of South Florida in the integrative biology department. I work on mostly ecological genomics, so I use genomics approaches to understand how plants, native and invasive plants, respond to environmental challenges. Come in!
Christina!
Hi!
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, doing well. Thanks. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
May I sit down?
Please sit.
Thanks. Also, as a mathematician trained in evolutionary ecology, we both have a deep and abiding interest then in ecological and evolutionary processes. And so as a mathematician, or at least if I wear a hat of a mathematician, one can use mathematics then as a language of logic. One can take ideas and hypotheses and things that Christina might be imagining, and they can now be translated into parameters, they can be translated into mathematical equations, and it's a chance then both to evaluate what are the consequences of these assumptions, of these ideas, and it's a chance for Christina to say, no, in this model or whatnot, you've thrown the baby out with the bathwater. That's not what I meant. And ultimately then the mathematical equation just becomes a language of logic.
Okay, so my name is Owana. I'm coming from Ireland. I currently work as a clinician, and I am also doing a little bit of research. I'm looking at the immune system and how that changes with chemotherapy in gastric cancer patients. Come in. Namaste.
So what's going on?
Hi, my name is Owana,
Hi.
and I'm coming from Ireland. I'm a clinician.
Okay. I'm Raphael. I'm here at the IMO.
You artificially build a tumor model,
Mm-hmm.
then you can then do things to. You can stress it, and then you can see what happens. This, if you wanted to do this in the lab, it will take you a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of resources, whereas this is, if you get the model right, you can answer a lot of questions, and you can see a lot of really, really interesting relationships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that is really cool.
Yeah, and I mean on top of that, like a lot of this stuff, I mean, so the mouse model is about as close as we can get without going straight to clinical trials, right? And it lines up on some things but not on others, right? So there's always that divide there, and oftentimes drugs will actually end up working in patients, not work in mice, and vice versa. So, and we might be able to make some leaps that weren't like earlier possible, right? We might be able to justify doing clinical trials that would essentially never get done because we wouldn't be able to connect the dots directly, right? Because the mouse model might fail, or we might not, be accounting for things like from across different sort of avenues that would add up in a patient, but can't be done in vitro and elsewhere.
My name is Michalina. I'm a fresh assistant professor at the Scripps Research Institute, and I am very interested in the diversity of tumors and how different cells in the tumor are interacting with each other, how they create the tumor ecosystem, and we really need to understand how this ecosystem works in order to actually be able to devise better strategies for treatment. Hi!
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to IMO workshop. So what
Thank
can
you.
see you here?
So I'm really sort of keen to learn actually what can you bring to the table.
We can actually do very good job in integrating complex system that it can in mathematical modeling term and explain more explicitly, and then we can look for what to measure in experiment and in clinical sample that can be fit into mathematical model to give better, more predictive power for mathematical model. So integration is kind of big part, and then that's why we can explain complex dynamics of cancer.
Okay, I'm an experimental biologist in the Department of Cancer Physiology here at Moffitt. My lab is focusing on the area of resistance to therapies. Currently in cancer we have quite a few drugs that in the right patients work very well. Unfortunately, they don't work forever. At some point the drugs stop working, the tumors evolve resistance, and unfortunately the patients don't make it.
And speaking of the devil,
Well, I think that Andre is crazy. He's halfway there. I think that if Andre was born again, he'll be a mathematical modeler. No, so basically Andre has already identified, I think, some of the biggest challenges in his community, and I think that he understands that mathematical modeling can do a lot for him. So I think that basically a bit of evolutionary game theory could introduce, a lot of solutions to some of the complexity of the experimental systems he's studying, and I think that he will be able to gain a lot of new insights on cancer evolutionary dynamics through these more interesting approaches.
Into my life, and my world never looks so bright. It's true, you bring out the best of me when you are around.
So Joel and I have been talking. Oh, should I not say that? Dang, I just blew it.
No, it's fine.
Take two! Damn! Okay,
It's fine.
where do I start?
yeah, I think there is a level of I don't want to say distrust, but maybe disinterest on the clinical side currently. I think I mean, not you, but
Parent cell is sensitive. You can still take your beer to what will happen? If the parent cell is sensitive,
Then the proliferation
I took it too early.
is going to be updated in a different way.
no. So if the parent cell is sensitive and it
Okay.
Would you like a cup of tea? A croissant?
I'll just go straight to wine. That'll be fine.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yep, that.
It's almost 10.
Those are staying in.
Oh no!
Obviously, my behavior will be revealed long before the video is made.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
nothing fair there.